Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm making this video since this subject has become a debate and many friends asked me to talk about it. I've watched and read some content online talking about it, and after hearing opinions, I realized that this subject is merely a matter of opinion. There is no objective definition of the high-value man. Therefore, this video is not about what it means to be a high-value person, but what it means to me. I watched people talking about things that are convenient to them, but not really relevant in my opinion. Many times I felt that they've missed the point, or that they prefer to portray an image out of wishful thinking. Of course, a spoiled boy who has inherited millions from his mommy, he wants to believe that old money is what makes a high-value man. Someone wants to sell courses online on how to make money, so he wants to promote the idea that only millionaires are high-value people. Some people want to sell coaching of relationships, so they portray an image of gorgeous top models running after the high-value man, or very wealthy men run after high-value women, namely young and flirty. Or some people want to sell courses or workshops about leadership or personal image, branding, personal branding. So they have those subjects in the focus of what should define the high-value man. From my point of view, I see things a bit differently, and I'm sharing what I see. Again, this is only my opinion, so take it or leave it. In my opinion, the high value that any man or a woman can have is priceless. It cannot be bought. It has nothing to do with social validation or with self-sacrifice or with financial status. It has to do with the diamond of life, and that is genuine sovereignty, not being dependent on others financially or emotionally. The ability to stand on one's own feet and survive the challenges of life without needing a mommy or a daddy to transfer money, or a welfare system, or social validation, or to pretend that one has many friends, or anything that is not in line with sovereign survival. This healthy instinct, we can see it with children when you come to feed them and they tell you, "No, I want on my own. I want to do it on my own." They need to claim control over their own sovereign survival, even when they're not conscious yet of their helplessness. Unfortunately, this instinct is often crushed, and we talked about codependent relationships in the past. So, when they tell you that a high-value man goes into a room and women like him immediately, people like him immediately, I immediately realize how superficial such analysis is, because there are so many factors to determine that, and such a conclusion is led by the need to be loved, or the need to be acknowledged, or someone needs to acknowledge his doubted masculinity. And a sovereign man who knows who he is doesn't need that validation. When they tell you that a high-value man goes into a room and everybody likes him immediately, I can easily see that such conclusion is made by the need of being socially validated. But if a lion goes into a room full of rats and hyena, of course they would not like him. They would even hate him. They would either avoid him or try to conspire against him, trying to take him down. And when a high-value person goes into a room full of like-minded, in this case, they might welcome him and find a way to unite with him. If you are a self-made man, a high-value person, a self-made man who've created your destiny with your own hands, and you are sovereign, and you go into a room full of low-value people who believe that they are high-value, but all of them are dependent on their parents to survive, or dependent on one's husband or wife, or dependent on the state, then of course a self-made sovereign man must be ready to be targeted and hated and bullied, not liked. Because your presence as a sovereign man, as a high-value man, as a genuinely high-value man, reflects everything that they hate about themselves, while believing that no one sees the truth, because they all agreed to deny it in order to avoid dealing with their shame. They agreed with each other. This is the way how they cope with their shame. They just avoid seeing the truth. And your presence here is the only thing that exposes that. Even without talking about it, they might try to shadow ban you or to talk over you so that hopefully your diamond doesn't shine too much to expose their facades. So being a leader and being loved by society, or being old money, being rich, those are not the indication of a high-value man. The high-value person is the sovereign. Only after sovereignty, we might be ready to talk about transcendence. But it's too early to talk about it because we don't want to mistake transcendence for superstition and cults. Especially because low-value people with a sense of superiority who couldn't figure out their lives yet, such kind of people look for meaning outside the range of the attainable in order to set themselves free of the responsibility of their actions and feel that their misery is not because of their hubris and envy and corruption and false sense of superiority. The problems are not caused by them, but by something mysterious or a general concept that has nothing to do with them. It can be the stars, it can be refugees, it can be migrants, it can be the unvaccinated, it can be black people. That's why losers love to unite with each other, to embrace racism and nationalism and false sense of collective superiority. And any cultic beliefs that tell them that their problems are not caused by them, but by others. They are the good guys, and everyone else is the bad guys. This is the only way that can allow themselves to continue to patronize the real high-value people, trying to take them down in order to raise and leverage themselves by convincing themselves that they already are high-value, highly spiritual, who don't need to grow and improve. They have already inherited it all. Old money. And when they experience real misery, genuinely, and when they face the real challenges of life and they fail, it's only a matter of misfortune. But they can unite very well, only for one reason. Not to create something constructive or creative or inspiring, but the only thing that they can unite around is a scapegoat. So I don't care if you're a millionaire or not, if women love you or not, if society validates you, if you're a leader or a follower, if you're a good team player or a bad team player. Because all that is not relevant when it's out of context. I only care about one thing. Are you genuinely sovereign? If you are not, do you acknowledge that and know what it means and have the intention to work on it? And even if you acknowledge it, but don't want to change and you don't want to work on it, and you say that you're satisfied and content to live like that, are you ready to leave the high-value people alone and to forbid yourself and to forbid your covert frustration and jealousy from conspiring against them, since you believe that you are fine and you have no problems whatsoever? Because if one is sovereign, this is the indication of all the traits that are needed to achieve it. Intelligence, culture, education, knowledge, ethics, morals, discipline, commitment, all the treasures of life. All the traits that shape sovereignty speak for the real high-value man. This is my take on the subject. I hope it could resonate. Thank you everyone for staying with me. I'm Shredy Jabarin. Ciao.